deal with airplane peanuts.
Welcome back to the Joke World Comedy News Update. Today's story, Shane Gillis is officially moving to Austin, Texas.
It's the new comedy hub.
This new information was revealed Sunday night during a live taping of the Real Ass podcast in Austin, Texas, featuring Luis J. Gomez and Zach Amico. That episode won't be public until Saturday night, but included a tremendous list of special guests. Shane Gillis, Ari Shaffir, Mark Norman, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Brian Redband. Witnessing this lineup together all on the same podcast was nuts. It seemed like every 20 minutes, a new special guest was added to the panel. There was plenty of funny moments, but the most interesting moment by far was when Luis J. Gomez asked Shane Gillis about his plans to move to Texas. At first it seemed like a joke and Luis was just busting balls with Shane because he had already shit on Austin a few different times earlier in this episode. But to the whole audience's surprise, he confirmed the news was indeed true. Shane Gillis will be the next great comedian to move to Austin, Texas. But not for the reasons you might think.
We might have to break out of the New York Matrix.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Could be time, dude.
Could be.
We'll see.
Yeah, it could be.
We'll see.
True. Stay tuned.
Got 'em.
Stay tuned.
Gotcha.
Going to Alaska.
We're moving to Alaska.
It'll be awesome.
It's the new comedy hub.
Alaska.
Juneau. Just get ripped apart by bears.
At first glance, the reason why one of the top comedians in the world would move to Austin, Texas right now seems pretty obvious. The comedy scene there is absolutely exploding unlike anything we've ever seen before. But that's not the only thing about the Lone Star State that caught Shane's eye. Shane, Ari, and Tony Hinchcliffe all showed up to this 9 p.m. taping after day drinking with Ric Flair since 1 p.m. So the boys were smashed. So it makes sense why Shane was a bit cagey at first about admitting one of the reasons he's moving to Texas might be for the no state income tax. During the podcast, he seemed to think saying that out loud might be frowned upon. But as Redband pointed out seconds later, taxes are a completely legitimate reason to live in a new place and probably played a factor as to why Joe Rogan left California and started this whole movement in the first place.
Yeah, people are really worried about all folks like me moving from California.
Yeah.
Worried. They're worried about.
You know what's funny is that come one, come all. Give me your tired, your poor. Come on to Texas, but you got to understand something.
Yeah.
You're coming here because of low taxes and low regulation, and you want to live your life in liberty and make sure that you can protect yourself and protect your family. And that means you have to vote a certain way. And that's why we kind of are Texas.
Don't turn this place into what you fled.
That's exactly right.
That's what Matthew McConaughey was telling me.
That's exactly right.
We have to kind of put that out there to people.
Exactly right.
Like,
and I understand people have their different views and whatnot, but you're here for a reason.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis has been taking off the last few years, reaching new levels of popularity and fame every single day. So any money-saving decision like relocating to Texas makes tons of logical sense, especially since he just signed his first deal with Netflix for his new special Beautiful Dogs, which came out today. Of course, the obvious question on every comedy fan's mind right now is what's happening with the podcast and will Matt McCusker be following Shane Gillis to Texas? The truth is, we don't know yet. It seems safe to assume that Matt would come with Shane to Austin and be part of the special movement happening down there, but Matt's life is a little different than Shane's. The shaman has a wife and kids and doesn't even currently spend all his time in New York City. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, but hopefully they can keep recording the podcast together in person. If that's not possible, I'm sure they could still make something work long distance, even if it means more guest episodes like we've seen with Two Bears One Cave when their hosts started living in different cities. Which actually brings us to our next segment, guest spots from last week. The Joe Rogan Experience had on Bill Maher. Two Bears One Cave was Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. Killed Tony this week with Joe DeRosa and David Lucas. Flagrant had on Logan Paul. Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast did not have an episode. Joe List was on Are You Garbage? Joe was also on The Honeydew. Taste Buds battled Sleeping Naked vs. Pajamas. Carrot Top was on Whiskey Ginger. And YMH had on Mark Norman.
But he is right. Like, if you would just want to annihilate a woman, if you slept with her best friend, that's kind of the ultimate. I don't think there's anything worse than that.
Yeah.
You're
Good point.
devastated, dude.
Yeah.
Decent advice.
So I don't think that's just for women. I mean, like a woman could do that to a man. It's pretty devastating.
That would ruin a human being. I think you're done, right?
Totally.
God damn, dude.
Dude, you know what you should do?
What?
Bert. That'd be so awesome.
That'd be so cool. Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
This past weekend with Theo Vaughn talked with Jordan Peterson. The Tim Dillon Show had on Giannis Pappas. Bad Friends talked with the Bussin' with the Boys boys. The Blocks Podcast had on Judd Apatow. Josh Potter was on First Date. Take Your Shoes Off with Rick Glassman had on Ari Shaffir and Jordan Jensen. Adam Carolla was on The Harland Highway. Russell Peters was on You Know What Dude. Josh Johnson was a guest on Chrissy Chaos. Tiger Belly had had on Dan Soder, and Bill Burr had a live taping of the Monday Morning Podcast that is currently available on his YouTube channel. As far as new stand-up specials that are either out right now or coming out soon, everyone knows this by now, but Shane Gillis' Beautiful Dogs is out on Netflix. Go stream it right now and sound off in the comments what you think. We'll be putting together subscriber responses for a reaction video coming out soon on this channel. Shane wasn't the only comedian with a new special coming out on Tuesday. Louis J. Gomez also released his 30-minute stand-up special on YouTube the same day as Shane.
Buddy, congrats on the special.
Yeah, Thank you.
Congrats
Thank you
to
very
Gas
much.
Digital. You're producing a bunch of fucking specials. You got them cooking.
Yeah, I'm pumped. It was 6 of us that did them. We did 6 half-hour specials over the course of 3 nights. It was Dave Smith first. Kurt Metzger's just came out last week. Mine's out today officially. And then next week is Colin Turrell, Jordan Jensen, and then Rich Voss. They're all incredible comedians. Very different perspectives. Just kind of like, it was really a great group, and I'm happy how they came out. They were fucking great. Dude.
It's awesome, and I've always said this of you. While, you know, you ruffle some feathers from time to time with a lot of people, you have done more for New York comedians and/or comedy as a whole than fucking anybody.
Stop it! I have a pool now. It's all for me. It has nothing. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
No,
so
you do have a pool now.
I know. I have goals in mind, and very often some of those goals, the peripheral benefit is that I get to work with some of the best comedians in the world and create amazing projects with them.
We also have Davey Jackson, the Cult Kid, out on YouTube, as well as Joe List, Enough for Everybody, which apparently Joe's special was demonetized and restricted in some way by the platform. So go check that out right now and try to give it as much support as possible.
So yeah, being suppressed. So please go watch it, spread the word, fight the power. Maybe I'll be one of these guys, you know, like these
grifters.
Well, the people that are like, they got me,
Right.
you know, help me out or whatever.
Yeah, you'll be at the Capitol in a year.
Because Schultz, he blew up because he was on Barry Weiss because he had to change something or something.
Too offensive. Some streamer wouldn't have him. Whatever the story is, but he made a cool $5 million because of it.
All right, I'll make $5 million.
Yes.
Why not?
There's also a few specials in the chamber that will be coming out relatively soon. Ari Shaffir and Big J Okerson taped 2 crowd work shows together in New York City last weekend that should be highly entertaining if you enjoy crowd work. In other news, Ralph Barbosa has filmed his new special. No word on when that will be coming out yet, but it will be on Netflix. Obviously, there is a lot happening in the comedy and podcasting world right now. People like Shane Gillis are moving to different states. Joey Diaz and Lee Syatt might be getting back together for good. The Regs has a new episode out now. People's specials are getting demonetized. We'll have videos coming out this week on all of these topics and more right here on this channel, Joke World, as well as our second channel, Clip World. So if you like comedy and you're still watching this video, you might as well become a subscriber. Make it official. Thanks for watching.
At Joke World. That's it. At Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.
That's a great YouTube channel, Joke World. Check it out.